All right, we got another no heat call. Don't know what it is yet, but let's get ready. We got to get dressed for battle. Every day's a battle. Gotta have your weapons. Okay, let's see here. Six flash. Six flashes, power reversed or poor unit ground. 115 AC power reversed or poor unit ground. I've seen it say that before, and it was the 24 volt that was reversed. Sir? Hello? That looks like it's off. Has anybody done any electrical work here recently? Like electricians been in here doing anything with the breaker boxes or anything?
I don't think so.
Okay. Okay, that's my first question. This was kind of, this valve right here was like sitting like right there, which was kind of weird. That wasn't even on, but it didn't even get to the point of lighting that, so I don't think that was the problem. I know I have 120 because it makes that motor come on. So let's see. I want 110 to ground from here, not from my neutral. That would tell me that would make it backwards. So we're gonna just make sure our leg is proper here, and then we'll make sure it goes to the proper place up on the board. Too easy. So my black to ground is 120. So my neutral to ground should not be 120, it should be 0. And there's 0. So I know my phasing is proper here. You see that? If you hear that motor, it was doing some weird stuff when I was tightening this wire nut, which isn't that weird. I might have, no, I think I had a good connection. Oh, I think that black wire up there was hitting and missing, making breaking as I was moving this around. That's all that was. You big silly. You being silly. Okay, let's make sure that my black coming out of here, going up, is going to the right post on the board. It's this one. This is my black here. They just jumped out this door safety switch and they fail. So that's kind of normal. It's kind of normal to do something like that. Let's see, black goes back. And from there, it just has to come up here. So, this is black. Oops, I pulled the wire off. So that black is definitely going to line H, which stands for line hot, which that is my hot circuit. And then my neutral, of course, will be going to neutral. Line N, right here's my neutral. That's not my neutral, it doesn't matter. All neutrals are neutrals. So yeah, line N goes to neutral. Right there. Okay, so that's all good. So now my transformer. Assuming this is 24 volt power and this is 24 volt common. And they go into a molly plug. So all I can do there is reverse these two and see if it fixes the problem. So I'm going to do that. My fault code said that I had 115 volt reversed. It was fault code 6. It says 115 volt AC power reversed or poor unit ground. And I know that my voltage here is not reversed. It doesn't come into the board reversed. Anyway, I'm going to start by turning this off, flipping these two colors, even though there's no reason why they should have been changed recently, but I'm going to do that. And then that's still reversing the polarity through the transformer, and I've seen that work in the past. No guarantees it's going to fix this problem, but I want to at least try it. And it could just be a bad control board. Six flashes again. So the only other thing is my ground. Make sure I don't have any switches tripped or that's not doing something. I've seen sometimes these rollout switches or spill switches or things of that nature can do some weird stuff. I haven't confirmed that my pressure switch made yet. I am just going to make sure that that's making, because it literally gives me that fault code right about the time that the pressure switch wouldn't make. So let's see, I'm going to flip these back because it didn't fix it, so I want to keep it the way it was. I do believe this is the way it should be. Wow, that's weird. Well, now it's giving me a pressure switch fault, I bet. That's not that weird. Huh. So as soon as the pressure switch made, they said that my voltage was backwards. So that's kind of interesting. I can see debris down in the pressure switch port on that inducer motor. It's almost completely clogged inside there. So we're going to clean that out. I think it was making the pressure switch though, because it showed a pressure switch fault this time that it didn't show last time. It did something different. I think it was making, even though I had all that debris in there, still needs to get cleaned out. switch makes, that's when it gives me that fault code. So what in the world would do that? What would do that? Make another call for heat. We'll reconnect our hot. That's so weird. It's so weird. It's right about the time that my hot surface igniter should be energizing, right? Because it comes on, it closes the pressure switch, the next thing in line is the igniter, and then right about the time the igniter should be energizing, it does that whole funky thing. So let's check our igniter and see if something there hasn't gotten compromised to ground or something of that nature to cause that fault at that exact moment when that would be coming on. It's kind of the way my mind is wrapping around this one right now. Just unplug it for right now. It's red and white. Just trace this red and white wire. Make sure there's not something going on with that. Same one that goes to the line. Okay. It's this white. It ties right in with line, which I'm fine with. And the red is going to go up to that molly plug most likely. It does. Goes to the top. No, it goes right here actually. It goes to right there. Well, let's try it. So this red going to this double molly, that's the one to the igniter. So let's try it with that igniter unplugged right there. See what happens. Same thing. Same exact thing. So now I'm going to unplug this molly plug for the igniter. See what that does. Pressure switch. Why am I getting a pressure switch? Let's reset it here again. Just take the power out of the board altogether. Oh, I see what I did. I unhooked my inducer motor with my igniter, so that was, I can't do that. So it's going to do the same thing. Well, that's weird. For some reason now there's my gas. That's kind of weird. As soon as I unplugged that and plugged it back in, it started working because I already had this unplugged. And I reset it, and it did the same thing it was doing the whole time. It's going into that 6 flash fault code. As soon as I unplugged this, the inducer motor was powered by the purple wire, so it could not even try to energize that inducer motor because it wasn't getting its 120 hot leg. So nothing happened, and then as soon as I put it back in, like, it actually went through all of the sequence of operation, even energized the gas valve. I could hear the gas spewing, I could smell it. But the only thing that's different is this is unplugged. I don't know why when I unplugged that the first time and ran it, it acted differently than when I unplugged this and then plugged it back in, but it did. So now what I'm going to do, leave it like it is. I'll do one more hard reset. I won't touch this plug. And let's see what it does. If this thing will work if we plug it in, because it's doing its thing. There, shut off. Waiting at 6 flash. So there's something up with this igniter. I'm going to do it one more time just to confirm. Kill our power. Pull our igniter. Reintroduce our power. Let's see if this gas valve comes on. Gosh, it's doing it again. That's so weird. That's so weird. It could just be having an intermittent issue, and I got lucky that it even worked the one time. Only thing that made this thing work was this plug. So I'm gonna jiggle that plug now, do another reset, go back on, jiggle this, hold in on it. It's so weird.
Do you need it for anything?
No, I'm good.
Okay, so I gotta go. This side door is unlocked, so you can.
Thank you so much. Okay, appreciate it. No, can I get it, please? Yeah. I'll type it in. You just tell me it.
Okay. 208.
1 second. I got you.
Okay.
I'll call you when I'm done.
Okay, thank you. We're on time.
Thank you. Okay, so that's weird. I'm gonna unplug this. This is the only thing that made it work. So I'll unplug this again. Do my hard reset. Plug this back in. Plug this back in. See what happens. Okay, good. I'm actually really glad that it did that, because it's not making any sense. It's being very kind of intermittent with what it just did. I mean, for the most part, it's just not working, but it was intermittent for a second. I think this board is bad. I just think it's failed. See if we can see anything physically wrong with it. see anything. I don't see anything wrong physically. Yeah, just the fact that for whatever reason when I pulled that off and put that back on, it ran. For the first time, it actually went all the way through the sequence of operation for startup as far as energizing that gas valve. That was the first time it had done that. But then when I tried it again, later, it didn't work. So I believe we need a control board on this one. I'm going to see if I can't find one and go from there. All right. So I made a phone call. Got the control board number. This is the updated number. Went to the shop and boom, bam, we had it. So, get this thing installed. All right, let's see here. How's it going? I hope this fixes it. I think it will. It was so weird because the one time that it tried to run was when I pulled this plug out and then I tried to run it and I realized, okay, that plug also has the power. This purple wire is the power for this motor. You see the purple here? Uh-huh. And then as soon as I plugged it back in and when this motor came on, like it went through the whole process, even energized this gas valve. That was the first time it did that. Every time before that, it would just get to the point where it was going to start, when it was going to light the igniter, but then it wouldn't light the igniter. It would just, well, I had the igniter unplugged, but before that it went right to the point when it would light the igniter and then it would go into this fault code saying my high voltage was reversed, and I checked all that. That was proper. So I really do think this board was having a problem, and I only got it to try to light that one time, and then I went back through and I did the same process again to try to get it to do it again, and it would not do it. So I think it's the board. So I'm going to replace that. We'll see what happens. Actually, I think I'm going to pull those one at a time because I don't feel like tracing out what all of that goes to today. Got other things I need to be working on. We're just going to plug and play one at a time on all that. This is an exact replacement board. And then X-former hot, which is transformer. This would be my line hot. This is the park for a blower speed. High heat, blower speed. Okay. think that's it. Let's try that, see if that makes a difference. There's my igniter. There's my flame. So I'll make sure the blower comes on. There's my blower. So that fixed it. It's just a bad control board. It's kind of funky because it worked one time and it threw me off. So, all right, we'll button this one up. That one was just a bad control.